Hello guys, Fuzz here, welcome back to Final Fantasy 9. So things are getting quite exciting now in the game. We have reached the area known as Pandemonium up on Terra, which is a pretty frightful place. Lots of weird stuff going on, and Zidane has been learning a little bit about his origins as well, and that's made him go a little bit loopy, if I might say so. But for now we are racing on ahead to the horrors of today. So once you've saved, make sure you collected the item from near the throne, which I spoke about and showed you in the last episode. Make sure also, if necessary, you use a tent and equip your characters once again, as we did in the end of the previous episode. And when you're ready, we can go straight on ahead and follow the linear path. I'll just check that my characters do very quickly have the things that I know they need, such as the killers and the bright eyes, etc., and clear-headed, which are the important ones, as well as whatever the other characters can protect against with bad breath, which I did go into before, so I won't go into now. But for the time being, we're just going to go into this new area, which we haven't yet visited, and we can see there's a kind of strange room here. But we have this switch or button, and if we go ahead and press it, we'll have 30 seconds to cross to the other side. And basically, we can't go past a pillar that is a light. Otherwise, we'll enter battle and have to start again. Just like that. Right, so with that battle done, you get a nice experience, by the way, from the battles in this place. So it's probably not a bad place to grind either. And that's all there is to it. Now we can make our way through to the other side. And then when we reach the kind of light bridge here, there's nothing to do, so we can just run through to the other room. And in here there's a new lift, so we'll light that up. Now there's actually a bit of a puzzle, if you like, involved in accessing this lift, and we can either mess around with the options here until we get the ATE show up, which will let us move it around, or we can follow exactly what it is that I'm going to tell you to do. Okay, so we're going to set it to number 3. And then if we run into the next room here, we should be able to... You can board the elevator from any of these points, by the way, but we're going to just go past here. And we can see where it is. We're going to head up on it from here, which is where we turned it to. And then from here we can head up. And then we'll jump on it once again from this first segment, and that will allow us to access this chest. So obviously these chests are optional. Someone's got a nice bit of gilling, but if you do want to collect all the treasures, then this is the way to do it. And then we need to head all the way back down to the bottom, so we'll once again take the elevator as needed. Which is here. Then we'll come off the lift and come all the way back down to where it is we activated the lift's switch originally. And we're going to change the setting of it, as they say. This time we're going to input the number 4. And we're going to head back into the room itself with the lift. And we're going to go for the first section here. That will take us to here. And if we run up all the way to the top, then we can access the lift from this new location. And that will take us up to a new area, which we do want to do. and this will once again take us up another floor, but this is not a lift this time, it's a kind of teleporter. And once again we can see everything's looking highly confusing. We're going to start by taking this teleporter here on the right. And that will bring us up here, where we have access to another fun chest, this time with some battle boots. And now we're going to head back down again. We can see another chest down here. Oh, my apologies guys, I think we actually missed a treasure from the previous room, so we're just going to head back there now. So we'll use the red teleporter. And we will be going back. At least we've got those battle boots. But for now we're going to head over to the eastern side here, where there is another red teleporter. This will take us to the same place, but at a slightly different location that isn't accessible from the previous area. So we'll just use the teleporter here on the right, and this is the item that we missed, so now we can go ahead and grab this, which is an elixir. And if we head back up, it's a little bit of a secret area this, isn't it? Then there's another teleporter here which we'll use. So it's all a tad confusing, but hopefully it all makes sense. And this time we're going to pick up the Carabini Mail, which is a nice piece of armour for your armour users. And now we're going to head all the way back to the red teleporter. And we're going to backtrack to the area we were in previously, and then once again take the south path. And we know where we're going, of course. And now we need to start making our way to the Moogle, who we can see just perched up above us. And one of the things we need to do before anything else is the Mognet, since we have a letter from Moorock to Mosme, so we're going to give that to him now. So, pretty pointless letter if you ask me. But there's our next Couponut. And of course we'll just go ahead and save and tent up if you've been having enemy encounters. And you might just want to double check your party. I'm going with the same members. You can actually change them here at the Moogle. Just make sure that you bring either Dagger or Ico, depending on who can do the most offensive damage with their summons. And make sure you equip Boost on whoever it is. Dagger's Bahamut is quite powerful as far as my party is concerned, so I'm going to be bringing Dagger. And I'm going to be bringing Queener because of the Frog Drop ability, which is also doing nice damage. But you perhaps might want to bring Freya, especially if you boosted Freya's dragon ability by killing the dragons. Remember, if you kill 200 dragons, then that will be maxed out at 9,999 damage, which isn't too shabby. But even if it's not that much, then you might still find Freya is the best strongest party member to fill in that 4th slot. And you might not want to bring Steiner either. You might want to bring Vivi, who's very powerful with his magic spells. And as a matter of fact, I might actually... No, I'm going to keep Steiner because I do like Steiner. But Vivi is not a bad choice at all. And when you're ready, then we need to progress on. We're going to be facing several boss encounters now, so be ready for that. And let's crack on. But one thing I should mention is just to switch your gear out a little bit. Make sure that your character's can defend against wind and lightning thunder attacks, and make sure that they have locomotion equipped, along with auto haste and auto regen where applicable. And you might want to stick Dragon Killer and Bird Killer on the characters that have those. Also, oh, and Man Eater as well is also going to be useful. Anything else? Don't make sure you've got auto reflect on anybody. If you have, remove it, and then we should be good to go. Okay, and finally, the only other thing I've done is just re-equipped with our characters in our party with Insomniac, which prevents sleep. And the reason I've done that is so that Queena can cast her sleep, what's it called, blue magic ability that works across every target, so that our party don't get sent to sleep when we use it. But if you don't have Queena, then none of the enemies actually inflict sleep, so you won't need it. But anyway, when we head over to the next screen, we'll be greeted by a new cutscene, and here is Garland. Okay, so this is the first battle we're going to be engaging. This is the Silver Dragon, and it's not going to be a hugely difficult battle, I wouldn't have thought. So what we're going to start by doing is buffing up with Queena here, and then we're going to start stealing with Sedan. There's a couple of things that we are going to want to grab a hold of here. Let's just throw Cura Guard on, although Mighty Guard might actually end up depleting some of that. Actually, the other thing that we're going to want to do is just throw a tent on, or if you've got VV, start throwing some status ailments such as slow on. And if tent doesn't do anything, then we'll use dagger to start casting silence and what have you. So the thing we want to cast here is night, which causes sleep to all targets, but it won't affect our party, of course, because we did equip our party with the Insomniac ability. And we're just going to defend for the time being on dagger. Let's just use Steiner here to throw a tent. And the green dragon is asleep. Now we do want the Dragon Mail and the Kaiser Knuckles, so we'll continue stealing. It doesn't look like the tent did anything then, so we won't bother using another tent. It does work, but not always to great effect, sadly. So we'll get silence being cast. Hopefully if you've got auto regen, then that will take care of most of your healing on the characters that can equip it at least. We're just basically defending and what have you until we can get all these items stolen, which we now have. And with that done, we may as well go ahead and start doing some nice damage. Now the enemy's been silenced, that will of course reduce the spells that it can cast on us. And you can cast Bahamut. To be honest, I don't think we're going to need to do too much damage to it before it dies. It's only got 24,000 health. But I always like to have an excuse to use the summon materia. The summon materias? The summon magics. So I've just been playing a bit of Final Fantasy VII before loading up the game of Final Fantasy IX today, so still had it in my mind a bit, but you know what I meant. you have about 25 garnets in your inventory, by the way, then you'll find that Bahamut does a lot more damage. That shouldn't hurt us. Well, not too much anyway. And that's the first battle over with. If you're using Ico instead of Dagger, then you'll probably want to use Holy, a very, very powerful attack from Ico on this guy. Okay, so now we have a battle with Garland himself. And he has some devastating attacks up his arsenal. So the first course of action here is to silence this guy, because if we don't do so, he's going to start spamming us with Flare, which hurts like heck, in all honesty. So while he's being silenced, we'll get Queener here on healing duty, and the dark gear and the ninja gear are what we're really wanting to steal from this moron. But he also has some battle boots as well, which we'll go for. He can also cast Stop as well, which Silence will prevent. But not only that, if you've gone ahead and did as I told you to, and equipped the locomotion ability on your characters, then Stop won't affect you at all. So it can be a bit of a pain to silence, but hopefully we'll get there shortly. It's got to be said. He's not a nice guy, this, is he? A bit rude, to be honest. Okay, so I've managed to finally get silence on him, and we've just stolen all his items as well now, so we're going to get straight on with attacking. And once again, Dagger can start with Bahamut, and now he cannot cast his Flare ability, which is lovely to see. Frog Drop, where were you? And this guy's got 40,000 health, so it'll take a few more attacks than the other fella that we just killed, the Silver Dragon. But as long as you can get that silence on him, then you remove the vast majority of his threats anyway. Frog Drop continues to be a useful ability, since it does ignore defense. should imagine this guy is going down very soon. So we'll just defend now with dagger. Okay, here we go with Mega Flare once again. There we have it, Garland is down and done. Seems impressed.